Hi everyone and welcome. Today you join us at SYIL UK where we're going to explore what can be achieved with the SYIL L3 and SolidCAM. We'll take a billet of E&H steel, show a full suite of capabilities of the machine and make a cricket bat. This is no easy challenge, with the bat needing to be machined in sections, using lots of tricks along the way to make sure we knock it for six.
So SYIL UK, we are first and foremost a team of engineers, machinists, all trained from quite a high level. That background ranges from oil and gas, medical, R&D, and most recently Formula One. So what that helps us to do is to advise the customer on a real personal level. And what I mean by that is, we're in the trenches, reviewing drawings, programming drawings, we do things very, very personal. So we sell things a bit differently here at SYIL in the fact that we tailor everything to what the customer needs. Ultimately, we're not sales guys here. It all goes back down to the personal approach. We put the customer's interests at the forefront of what we do. So SYIL specialise in a range of 3-axis milling machines right through to advanced 5-axis. With that, we can include 3+2 options, 4+1. Again, it's all to do with what the customer wants and needs. On the turning side, we generally stick to 2-axis right through to sub-spindle, which can include Y-axis and C-axis options. We have some amazing new products coming out this year, which are destined to shake things up a bit, so check us out. The SYIL L3 can be aimed at anyone from your one-man bands, for example, right through to your big OEMs who are mass-producing high volume of parts. The beauty of this machine behind me is the fact it's modular. What I mean by modular is you can have from just normal C-axis, you can have C and Y axis right through to sub-spindle, and ultimately with that we have the flexibility of adding stuff like parts catchers, bar feeds, for example. Ultimately, like I said, going back to the personal approach, that's the ethos of everything we do here. We'll sit down with a customer, look at his parts, and advise from a machinist point of view, not from a sales point of view. And that's, I think, what makes us different.
So how exactly did we produce what looks to be a milled part on a mill-turn machine? We do that with a highly accomplished CAM software, SolidCAM, that integrates directly into SolidWorks design. Having designed the part inside SolidWorks design, we're ready to prepare it for manufacturing by bringing it into SolidCAM. We can see the part, stock and fixturing all within the virtual machine representation of the SYIL L3. We then applied multiple toolpaths and strategies to remove material quickly while keeping rigidity within the part, the machine and the setup. Our first step in machining is to remove the bulk of the material around the toe and blade of the bat with a series of turning operations. This puts us in a great position to make the most of the driven tooling and Y-axis that's available on the L3. Here things begin to get clever. With the SolidCAM iMachining 3D strategy, this is an adaptive roughing strategy where it uses the data from the tool, machine and material properties to create the toolpath. The cutting conditions are automatically optimized at each point on the toolpath to decrease cycle time while improving tool life. The ability to constrain the toolpath to just the blade and the toe is absolutely crucial to keep the part rigid and avoid the part flexing and vibrating in the finishing operations. Now that the blade is ready for finishing, we can look towards our surfacing strategies to get that superb finish required for such a piece. We start with the toe of the bat, where the impressive capabilities of high-speed surfacing, or HSS, is utilised. The amount of control we have here is not just in the cutting moves, but also in the repositions is an incredible asset to form this curved surface. We can even swap to use the C-axis instead of the Y-axis with a simple tick box. This keeps us well within the machine axis limit. On the front face of the bat, we wanted a completely uniform finish from top to bottom and side to side. This meant that it had to be tackled within one single toolpath and strategy. Now that sounds easy, but when we are at the bottom of the X-axis stroke and having a compound Y-axis, this is anything but to keep within the axis limits of the machine. Fortunately, we can rely on simultaneous 4-axis strategies to keep the Y-axis in the area where we needed it. This had the added benefit of altering the cutting point of the cutter, spreading tool wear across the entire cutting edge. Further iMachining toolpaths are then applied to remove stock at the base of the handle. The adapted feed speed and cutting angle to maintain the tool load are always impressive to watch as swarf flies away from the part. We are then at the most vulnerable stage for the part, forming the handle. An absolute must here is to keep the part as rigid as possible for as long as we can. This is made easy with the ability to flank mill with our roughing end mill, clearing out the stock quickly and efficiently while not deforming the part. This leaves our final strategy to finish the handle itself. Once more, a simultaneous 4-axis toolpath is employed to feed smoothly across the handle as we wind on the C axis. Having a great process within a CAM system is good, but it's worthless without a good post-processor. A custom post was created by a manufacturing team specifically for the SYIL L3 and tailored to the exact needs of SYIL UK. This included the full machine simulation, which allowed all involved on this project to verify toolpaths virtually and have full confidence in the code matching the toolpaths produced in SolidCAM, and putting the SYIL L3 through a series of tests. It's thanks to the team at SYIL UK that we can show how a great CAM system and manufacturing specialists can unlock the full potential of your machine tool. The versatility of the SYIL L3 is showcased in the finished part, from the impressive Siemens 828D control to the Y-axis and driven tooling, all without which we could not have produced this part.
At Stumps, you can see we've had a great day here at SYIL UK, putting the SYIL L3 through its paces. Going from simple turning to complex multi-axis milling to create an amazing bat out of some tough material. We would like to say thanks to SYIL UK for hosting us, and we will see you next time to make something exceptional with SolidCAM.